probably heard of DNA, right? Yep, DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, gets all the glory. It's the blueprint for life, after all. I mean, it holds all of the information to build and maintain you. But what about RNA, or ribonucleic acid? RNA is actually quite a bit like DNA and is equally important. So, what are the differences between the two? Although they're both made up of a phosphate group, a 5-carbon sugar, and nitrogenous bases, DNA is double-stranded, whereas RNA is single-stranded. The 5-carbon sugar in DNA is called deoxyribose, and the 5-carbon sugar in RNA is called ribose, which is how they get their different names. Both RNA and DNA have the bases adenine, guanine, and cytosine. But DNA's fourth base is thymine and RNA's is uracil. Now that you know what RNA is made up of, let's spend some time discussing the function of it in your body. There are actually 3 types of RNA: messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA, and transfer RNA. Let's begin with messenger RNA, or mRNA, which is a copy of a section of DNA. During protein synthesis, or the making of proteins, a section of DNA is copied through a process called transcription. So why bother copying the DNA? Well, DNA needs to remain in the nucleus for safekeeping. But since it's the blueprint, your body still needs the information it holds. Instead of taking the blueprint out of the nucleus where it can get harmed, your body makes a copy of it. This copy, the mRNA, then leaves the nucleus of the cell and undergoes translation, which means the mRNA is read and the correct ingredients are gathered to make proteins, which are needed for all sorts of things, from the hemoglobin that carries oxygen in your blood to the keratin that makes your fingernails. The mRNA then heads towards a ribosome, which is a structure inside of the cell. Ribosomal RNA, or rRNA, moves along the mRNA and helps build the protein. Transfer RNA, or tRNA, is found on the ends of the amino acids, and it brings the correct amino acid to the ribosome. To help you better grasp this rather complex terminology, think of mRNA as a recipe, and tRNA as a grocery getter who fetches all of the ingredients for the recipe, with rRNA being the chef who mixes all the ingredients in the right order. So, you know that RNA is an integral part of protein synthesis, but does it have any other uses? Well, in the 1980s, it was discovered that RNA can also be an enzyme, which is a substance that helps reactions occur faster. For example, there's an enzyme that assists in the removal of carbon dioxide from your cells. The reaction occurs 107 times faster when that enzyme is present. Enzymes have special places on their surface that allow molecules to dock, and then the enzymes can change shape to bring molecules together or cause them to break apart. In fact, the ability to change shape is what makes enzymes so great at speeding up reactions in your body. So how can RNA change shape like a protein? Remember, RNA is single-stranded, unlike DNA. Being single-stranded allows RNA to bend and fold, giving it the ability to change its shape like a protein. The double-stranded DNA is unable to bend and contort its shape like RNA, which helps to explain why RNA can act as an enzyme and DNA can't. Because RNA can hold the genetic blueprint and can act as an enzyme, scientists believe that there was RNA and not DNA in Earth's first life forms. DNA and proteins evolved later. By now you've probably realized that RNA is just as important as DNA. Let's take a moment to review why. RNA, or ribonucleic acid, is pretty similar to DNA, except it has a ribose sugar instead of a deoxyribose sugar. It's single-stranded, and it has uracil instead of thymine. The 3 types of RNA are key players in making proteins. Messenger RNA, or mRNA, is involved in transcription, where a section of DNA is copied. This copy leaves the nucleus of the cell, hooks up with a ribosome, and undergoes translation. Ribosomal RNA, or rRNA, and transfer RNA, or tRNA, work together to read the mRNA and bring in the correct amino acids to construct a protein. In the 1980s, scientists discovered that RNA can also act as an enzyme, or a substance that speeds up reactions. Because it's single-stranded, RNA can change shape, thus making it well suited for enzymatic tasks. Due to the fact that it can hold genetic information like DNA, and it can act as an enzyme like a protein, scientists believe that the first life forms on Earth had RNA and not DNA.